Have you known Philip for a long time?
I have known Philip for a long time.
Do you think the prosecutors have something up their sleeves?
I think that it is very likely that they do have something up their sleeve. I feel that my side will win this case.
How do you feel about this case?
I feel very disappointed that my son is in this position being charged for manslaughter.
How do you feel about your adopted son being charged for voluntary manslaughter?
I'm very sad about it because I know he was very sick and he was not in his right mind. I know this is not something that he would do if he was not sick.
How do you feel about this case?
I feel very confident in this case that we're going to win it.
Would Amelia be a big help to the case?
She will be a great help to this case because she's seen everything that happened when they forcefully came into Graham's home. So she'll be a great help in the story of what actually happened.
How do you feel about the loss of your coworkers?
I'm very upset. My team's extremely prepared. We're definitely looking into different psychological theories, I guess. So we'll see what Philip was up to.
What's the reason you had gone to Commonwealth?
We went to go and get the men that didn't sign up for the war registrations and to put the yellow bellies in jail.
What's your role in the case?
I appointed the APLI warrant to search Commonwealth.
What are your emotions regarding this case?
No comment.
So, what are your emotions regarding this case?
You know, I feel that my duty here is just to back up what the defensive side's saying through my professional knowledge, and so I have no emotions. I'm just doing my job.
So, what do you think the defense would say to counteract the charge?
They have nothing to say. Philip did the crime. He's gonna have to pay the time.
So, what is the case's weaknesses?
There are no weaknesses. I mean, he did the crime. Stop it.
Having heard the defendant, he's my adopted son. Before the incident, did he ever display any acts of violence?
No, he never did. He had a very kind heart.
When did he start to display symptoms, and what were the symptoms?
He started displaying them out of nowhere randomly one day. We found him in bed and he was coughing and wheezing. And also, while he was sick, I found him in front of Graham's house on the floor.
How was he ill?
He was sick for 10 days.
Was Philip delirious due to his sickness? But you say he was healthy enough to interact with others? Then why was he interacting with others? You stated, or he stated, that he had breakfast with his father and mother that morning.
Objection. Irrelevant question.
What is your reason for this question?
Families can have dinner together or breakfast.
It's clearly to say that Dr. Baines is not capable of performing psychiatric evaluations because he says that he was delirious due to his sickness but was healthy enough to interact with others, meaning that he wasn't sick during the time of the murder. So
But his family was taking care of him, therefore they are always in the house with him while he was sick.
you are aware this is just a contradiction to yourself.
He wasn't the only one who was around, therefore, as I told you already, there was a nurse. Why? Because he decided to become a nurse for a moment, even though he was sick and he was.
Can you answer this in one yes or no question? You are aware this contradicts yourself. Yes or no? Was there a psychiatric evaluation during the time of the manslaughter? Yes or no? So you're saying you didn't evaluate him for temporary insanity during that time? Yes or no?
No, I am not.
So you cannot say whether Philip was insane or not during the time? Yes or no? That'll be all.
Have you met Sheriff Bartram or any of the other APL men before that incident?
Yes, they came to Commonwealth before, and they wanted to infringe on our right to protect the town.
So what happened when the APL men showed up at your house during their second visit?
So I was at my house, and I wanted to talk to them, and I had a gun to protect myself, but it was not visible. And the APL men were very aggressive, and they pushed open the door, and my gun became visible, and so there was a need for self-defense. But before I could act, they hit me to the ground, and even though I was not resisting anymore, because I was on the ground, they continued to beat me.
When did Philip Worthy show up at your house?
Philip Worthy showed up at my house moments after that, when they were about to take me.
What did you notice about Philip when he showed up?
He was unsteady, and I noticed that he coughed since he was still recovering from the drill, and he couldn't keep a steady hand.
Isn't it true that even Sheriff Bartram acknowledged that Philip was a sick boy and wasn't acting himself?
Yes, he did.
Thank you, that'll be all.
Graham, so you say that Philip seems sick?
Yes.
So you weren't mad that he wasn't in the same house as your baby daughter?
No, at that moment, I had more important things to worry about, and my baby daughter was upstairs because my wife, Amelia, went downstairs without the baby.
So you don't care for your wife either?
Oh, I do, but she was standing far away, and at that moment, how could I think about my wife? I'm trying to protect her, but I'm being beaten down by 18 old men.
You are aware you just contradicted yourself.
No.
You are aware you just told a lie.
Objection. She just said that she was like trying to
She said,
protect.
wait,
You. Please. Talk. No, sir, grounds for your objection.
Okay, well, she was being beaten, or sorry, he was being beaten, and he was on the ground. How could he think about the sickness? Like, even though he did cough, it did not register to him right away that his wife was downstairs.
Sir,
He was
John,
on the
may I say
ground.
something?
what is the point of this questioning?
Well, we're talking about terrible insanity with sickness, but Graham says he acted on an act of defense, but he wasn't also thinking about his family. But he said he acted for his family, but wasn't thinking about his family when Philip entered.
Sir, this case is not about whether he cared about his child or his wife.
Yeah, but it also deals with temporary insanity. But they
This
were
is not-
questioning them as if this was a theory towards act of defense, but they were talking as if Graham was the one who defended himself, when in reality it was Philip who murdered him.
Sir, this is not the man on trial, so it does not matter whether he was.
You're saying this trial doesn't
temporarily
matter? This trial doesn't
Sir,
matter?
I will kick you out of
We're talking about a child's life. We're trying to send him
If
to
you
jail.
don't calm down, you will go outside for the rest of this trial.
May I ask different questions then?
No, sustained objection. Jury, please disregard these statements. Thank you. Please proceed.
Are you friends with Philip Worthy?
Yes, I stated that.
So you were there during the murder.
Yes, I had in my house.
Who murdered Sheriff Bartram?
The word murder should not be used.
Give me one name.
Philip.
Philip Worthy murdered Sheriff Bartram. Yes or no?
Wow, objection? You can't just like
You can't shout at her. Like, let her
Yes or
speak.
no.
That's the point of questioning.
Badgering
Badgering.
is sustained. Please back up. Back. Thank you.
So that's
Stay
fine.
there.
Yes or no? Did Philip Worthy murder Sheriff Bartram?
Philip Worthy is not Sheriff Bartram.
I said yes or no.
Yes.
The defendants also had witnesses we believe have been lying under oath. Amelia Stone states that Sheriff Bartram pointed his gun first at Philip, but wasn't pointing at Philip, so it was an act on defense towards Philip. In conclusion, we state that Sheriff Bartram indeed had the right to be in there. So it was an act of defense. It was an act of prosecution towards our client, Sheriff Bartram, who is now dead due to the act of Philip Worthy. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to address what they said about being defensive as well, and not being sick, and then that we were contradicting ourselves. However, Philip was clearly sick.
May the defense please stand. Sir, you may now read the verdict.
Okay. We, the jury, have decided to declare Phillips under the charge of manslaughter as non-guilty.
We would like to thank the jury for their service today. And Philip, you are charged. All charges are dropped, and you are free